Turnbuckle. Turnbuckle is the device which is used to adjust the tension or length of the ropes or cables or tie rod which are used in our different applications like tie rod in trusses or the ropes which are used for our bridges, the ropes which are used in the ships or in the hanging ropes of auditorium. So it has a very simple parts. You can look at the figure. There are two threaded eye bolts. One is having a right hand screw, another is having left hand screw, which are combined together by using intermediate link, which is called as a coupler. So look at the picture, you'll find that there are right hand and left hand rod, threaded rod, and which are connected by the coupler or and the coupler. Turnbuckle is concerned, it has applications like tie rods of bridges or the linkages of ships or hanging rods of auditorium. When we go for the design of turnbuckle, let us consider one problem statement so that we can simultaneously solve the dimensions and we can find the dimension as well as we can understand the design process. There is a pull of tie rod of iron roof truss is 50 kilonewton, design a suitable turnbuckle. So as iron roof truss which is subjected to tensile type of loading 50 kilonewton, the permissible stresses are 75 megapascal in tension, 37.5 megapascal in shear and 90 megapascal in. This is the given thing. Think about the threaded portion. The threaded portion is subjected to tensile as well as twisting or torsion. That's why the when we consider total load applied on this threaded rod is we must consider somewhat more than the given. So here as the threaded portion is subjected to tension plus torsion, will take 30% more load. So the total design load of threaded bolt can be taken as PD. It is PD which is equal to 1.3 times P, whereas 1.3 is the load factor which we are going to consider to accommodate or to consider combined loading of tensile plus torsion on the threaded portion. So wherever threaded bolt or threaded nut is there, we consider 65 kilonewton as a load instead of 50, so that we can have a simple tensile type of force which is going to accommodate tensile action as well as torsion action which is on that threaded portion. So for other part we can consider P is equal to 50. So let us go further with 65 kilonewton as a load for threaded portion. Now look at the picture. Here when we say design of turnbuckle, we are having different dimensions. Small d we consider as a tie rod diameter, capital D as a coupler nut diameter, capital D1 and D2 is internal and external diameter of the coupler, as well as L is the length of coupler nut. So in this, as small d is the rod diameter, but it is a threaded portion. So threaded portion is having two dimensions. One is core diameter and another is outer or nominal diameter. It is a threaded portion means the threaded portion is having base or core diameter, internal diameter and the external diameter. So let us design this so that we can consider these dimensions. So we'll start our diameter of tie rod. Here D is the diameter of tie rod means outer diameter. There is a core diameter of the thread which we consider as a DC. The picture we are having here, and core diameter is the weakest portion. So when the tensile load of 65 kilonewton, which is the considering torsional as well as tension is subjected on this. So weakest portion is DC. It is going to cut down. So the failure is shown in the is a tensile failure. So tensile failure is equal to PD divided by A, force divided by area. So area is pi by 4 DC square, weakest section. If I consider PD as 65 kilonewton equal to pi by 4 DC square into sigma T, where 75 megapascal is the safe tensile stress, then from this we can find DC. DC comes out 33.2 mm. So 33.2 mm can be rounded up 34 mm, and from the standard relationship we can take outside diameter as 39 mm. Now in your exam you cannot directly take the standard dimension from table, so you can take very simple relationship, the outside or pore diameter equal to DC divided by 0.84. From that relationship also you can get that standard dimension D. So here we find the internal and outer diameter of threaded portion. So outer diameter of the tie rod comes out to 39 mm. We think about the length of coupler nut. The length of the coupler nut is also engaged with the threaded portion of our rod. So nut is we can find by shearing of thread. How the threaded portion of the rod? In that you will find that the threaded portion of that screw is going to, as it is a shearing failure, torsional shearing failure, direct shear is there. It is not a torsional shear stress. There is no torque. So direct shear stress equal to force divided by area. Now, when we think about the area, what is the area? We must consider again the internal diameter DC. So pi into DC is the perimeter and L is the length of the portion. So pi into DC multiplied by L is the shearing area. Again put the value. Have load equal to 65 into 10 power of 3, which is equal to pi DC into L into tau. So here 37.5 is the standard shear stress given, permissible shear stress given, pi into DC equal to 34 into length. So from this, which come out is 16.22 mm. So again this 16.22 mm is the safe value. From the standard relationship, L equal to D. So it comes out 42 mm. Here, why we are again and again considering standard relationship? Because if you take standard relationship, then our turnbuckle or any component which is ergonomically and aesthetically look good. So that is also one of the design consideration. So that's why generally we take standard relationship. So L is equal to D equal to 42 mm, and this standard relationship is also standardized. So standardization is also one of the factors. So from this, the length of the coupler nut L that we can find. So shearing of threaded portion which comes out, and that gives us length of the coupler. Here, how many number of threads that should be in contact per length, that we can find by one more failure. Portion is considered under, this is the crushing type of action. Because of the crushing action, crushing stress is equal to again pi by 4 d square minus dc square, because pi by 4 dc square is the complete area. We'll subtract dc square as the area, so remaining portion is the crush area, multiply by n, which is number of thread per mm length, multiply by the number of thread contact. So that how many number of threads per unit length that should be in contact. So here if you just look at the again that relationship, PD equal to pi by 4 d square minus dc square into n into L into sigma c. Find which is equal to PD divided by pi by 4 d square minus dc square into L into sigma. Put all the values. Here also we are going to consider 65 kilonewton and we are going to put all the values together. Here comes out, n comes out almost 1. So only one thread is sufficient, only one thread per unit length is sufficient for the considering for the safe value of threaded portion under crushing. So this is one of the way by which we can find out how many number of threads that should be in engage. When we go for the outside diameter of the coupler nut, which is capital D. Outside diameter. Now, when we think about the outside diameter of the coupler nut is not subjected to any twisting. So it is having our simple P as axial load. Because of the axial force, that coupler nut is going to fail. We'll put all the values here. Now P is 50 kilonewton because it is not twisting. So 50 kilonewton equal to, what is the area? Area is pi by 4 capital D square minus small d square into sigma t. If you just put all the values, pi by 4 capital D square minus 39 square into 75, and we can get the that particular equation in terms of d square. So d square, it comes out 2369 or d comes out 48.7, so say 50 m. So from this directly we can find the outside diameter of coupling nut, which is subjected to tensile type of action. Because of the tension, because of the tensile type of force, there is a tensile failure, and the failure is shown in the figure clearly. And from very simple our tensile stress equation, we can get the capital D as 15. So that is outside diameter of coupler. In that coupler, we are having D2 as the outside diameter and D1. D1 is inside diameter. So D1 and D, capital D, we should have some space. Why? Because so inside diameter of the coupler should not be equal to outside diameter of that threaded portion. So there should be some gap. So the gap is generally we consider as a 6 mm. That's why internal diameter of the coupler is 39 plus 6. So it comes out 45 mm. So here the small gap is provided. Otherwise, what will happen? The threaded portion of that tie rod, so it cannot easily come inside the coupler space. So that's why small portion, small cavity or small clearance should be there. So that's why the inside diameter of the coupler, should be at least should have 6 mm gap. So there should it can accommodate burr, it can accommodate anything, or it can safely allow that threaded portion inside that coupler. So D1 comes out 45 mm. So we have to find D2. Tensile type of force. So it is going to cut as shown in the figure. So when it comes 50 into 10 power of 3 is the force, and the area is pi by 4 D2 square minus D1 square. Just now we have considered about that coupler nut. Similar type of action is there, only the dimensions are here pi by 4 D2 square minus D1 square into sigma. From this, again, if you just consider mathematical equations, D2 square, which is equal to 287 53.6 mm, which is equal to 60 mm. So at home we also practice this equation by using your calculator. So D2 comes out 60 mm. After D2, all the dimensions of the coupler and all the dimensions of turnbuckle is over. Only the length of coupler between nuts, that also we can find by capital L, which is equal to 6 times D, which comes out 6 into 39, 234 mm. So if you just put all the our design dimension in the, again there is a T which comes out 0.5 D, so it comes out here. Final design, you can look at the picture. Final design, in the final design you will find that all the dimensions are pointed out here. So the small d, the capital D,